Okay, hope you're not tired. Now, recognize the structures again. Same organ, we observe glomeruli. Okay, what else? We observe tubules, proximal and distal. So it's again kidney. Yeah, hyperemia. Where exactly? Let's increase it and take a look at it. I think these are mainly tubules with protein cast inside. So it's not quite a hyperemia, but majorly here there is stasis of blood. But here we see protein casts. They are more eosinophilic and they lack mixture of blood cells. What we should observe here would be the picture of the glomeruli and how they specifically are looking like. Now, let's find the representative one. Now, what's the difference between this one here and the ones that I showed you just a minute ago when we observed acute kidney failure where the glomeruli had not been affected by the process? Here we have effect of the glomerulus. Now, search for another one, even more representative of the process here. What happened to the glomerulus here? Do you see normal capillary loops, Bowman space, Bowman capsule? What do you observe here? Come on, guys. Final try for today. Who can describe this one? Lots of immune cells. Not exactly. I see proliferation of cells, but are these cells immune? Yeah, some fibrous depositions could be observed in the form of fiber strands. Also, what else? Which are the cells to have suffered proliferation? Hyaline, not exactly. Maybe here in a single position, but not. That should be an amorphous substance. This one is not amorphous. What was crescent glomerulonephritis? How did we think of this one to happen? What is the glomerulonephritis as a process itself? Take a look at the slide. Well, do we see any kept healthy glomeruli? No, they're all affected by the process. It's because it's hypersensitivity third type reaction. It's in the complex of autoimmune reactions. We observe changes in all of the glomeruli. We observe hypercellularity of mesangial and capillary cells, which is completely filling the Bowman space. Also, we observe some fibrous tissue strands along with fibrin strands to be filling the Bowman space so that we won't see any free one. And since this one is growing at the form of crescents, you see how they appear as if it's thickening by the way of a horseshoe, if you will. So we call this one crescent. Oh, sorry, it's disappeared again. Sorry. I observe another picture, I explain it, and I don't see that it's going again. Sorry. So take a look at this one now here. You see it well, I think. Yeah. It's appearing to be with proliferation of mesangial cells and endothelial cells and filling of the Bowman space with multiple fibers of fibrin and also fibrous tissue mixed together, which is not marking well the Bowman capsule itself. It is taking the structure of a crescent as if it's looking, again, I will repeat, as a horseshoe, if you will. It's half It's looking like as if the crescent of a moon, if you will. So that is why we call this type of glomerulonephritis crescent glomerulonephritis. The structure appears this way, as if half a circle formed. So protein casts here are normal to be observed. Take a look at this glomerulus here. Does it appear damaged? Now, due to an autoimmune process, we expect majorly most of the glomeruli to be damaged by the process, since these changes may start in some and be more evident in others, but yet the start of the process could be even observed here, with the proliferation of podocytes and cells here, and the increase of the capillary loops, which can be observed well, and with partial closing of the Bowman space at one of the poles of the glomerulus. So pretty much the process is starting here also, not so being spread inside in the glomerulus like all of the others, but yet appearing to be evident. So we will call this type of glomerulonephritis rapidly progressive glomerulonephritis, or crescent glomerulonephritis, if you will. Here on the exam, you're going to be asked about types of glomerulonephritis that you know by your classification, which is mentioned in the lecture by the professor. You are also eventually going to be asked about differences between different types of glomerulonephritis, acute and chronic ones, and whether most often asked question, whether it's affecting both of the kidneys or just one of the kidneys. Yes, it's diffuse. Is it affecting both of the kidneys or just one of the kidneys? How do you think? Both, yes, because it's due to autoimmune reaction, deposition of immunoglobulins, and affect in same structures and different glomeruli in both of the kidneys. So that is why these types of changes may be involving both and symmetrically both of the organs, which would not happen by difference with the pyelonephritis, for example, which could affect only one of the kidneys. Do you have some questions about today's slides?